SCNES CNCE Aging and senescence. What is it? Aging? Yes, aging, increasing of age, growing older. Senescence, senility. What is senility term? In old age, people will get some problems. So the old age related problems are known as senescence. That means actually aging means growing older and its related problems both comes under aging only. But particularly senescence means in the later lifespan declining of metabolic activity, functionality, vigor, immunity, and increasing of susceptibility to different diseases. So that is known as senescence. That means this is chronological, this is biological. Yeah. That means all individuals while passing age, definitely age increase. While increasing age, automatically some problems also will start. When problems start, the problem generally start after puberty. Yeah. Bleeding in women, then hormonal releasing, then automatically almost 20, not even 20, 18 to some problems will arise in the body. White hair, gradually while increasing age. Then after 25, 30, hair fall, skin folding, muscle pain, bone pain, joint pain, declining of calcium levels, hemoglobin levels, different symptoms will arise. Gradually BP increase, heart problems increase, kidney problems increase, mind problems increase, declining of memory, then sight, loss of motor activity response. Like that, many symptoms arise. Gradually, one after, all that collectively known as senescence. That means simple growing older and its related problems and its related changes are known as aging. While increasing age, declining of metabolic vigor, functionality, metabolic fitness, adaptability, immunity, at the same time increasing of susceptibility to the diseases, loss of memory, loss of sight, loss of all sensory perceptions. So they all comes under senescence. Study of aging and senescence is known as gerontology. Is it? So gerontology is a study of old age related problems. That is this. That means study of these two is known as gerontology. Yeah. So this is the chronometric. This is biometric. This is a chronological. This is biological. Is it? So definitely we can measure it, but it is not so easy to measure. Something like that, the differences. Then what are the symptoms? All that. Declining of vigor, functionality, adaptability, susceptibility, loss of sensory perceptions, calcium level declining. Nothing doing. Write it. are known as aging. Declining of metabolic fitness and functionality of different organs in later years of lifespan is known as senescence. Study of aging and senescence is known as gerontology. Addition of years is aging. Functional declining is senescence. Aging is a chronometric but senescence is biometric. Aging is a quantitative but senescence is a qualitative. Chronological years is a aging biological years is senescence. Both aging and senescence are differ from person to person. It is also differ in both the sexes. Pattern of aging is differ from one society to the other. Both aging and senescence are based on numerous factors. Such as Consumption of balanced diet. Food habits. Lifestyles. Physical exercise. Stress management. And the nature of the family. See, some, if you observe, 2025 only look like very old. Skin foldings, white hair, no stimulus, no, that means interest, nothing. कब करते, क्या करते, something. Some people, even at the age of 60, 70, they're very young. Energy levels are very high. At the age of 80, they can compete with 2025 also. Even sometime they succeed even over 2025. That means some are born old, some are young. Yeah. So it depends. So their genetic constitution, nutrition, food habits, lifestyle, exercise, stress management, many things decides our aging pattern, our metabolic fitness. So that's why not only that, even environmental conditions also definitely decides the pattern of aging. So this pattern of aging is differ from one country to the another, even differ in both the genders. That is also differ from person to person also. So that is just introduction. Then what are the symptoms of aging and senescence? Symptoms. What is the first symptom? Generally, graying of hair, graying of hair, hair loss, then loss of skin elasticity, loss of metabolic vigor. VIGOUR, vigor means energy. Yeah. Metabolic fitness, sensory perceptions, motor activity, adaptive fitness, memory, and again declining of hemoglobin levels, declining of hemoglobin levels, calcium levels, hormone levels, rate of respiration, Then increasing of cardiovascular problems and susceptibility to different diseases. susceptibility. Susceptibility means yes, the power against the diseases. The resistance power against susceptibility. That means this is opposite to immunity. So the power against diseases, that is known as immunity. Loss of immunity is nothing but susceptibility, more prone to get diseases. But of course, not only loss of immunity, even without loss of immunity also sometimes, yes, it depends on dietary habits, personal habits, many alcoholism, smoking, irregular lifestyles, high pressures, tensions. These are all decides the lifestyle. Definitely, our lifespan also based on all this. This is just aging and senescence. Then theories of aging and senescence. Theories of aging and senescence. These theories are two types. One is intracellular, other one is extracellular. In intracellular, genetic blueprint theory proposed by Hayflick. Then free radical theory proposed by Packard and Smith. Then error theories. These error theories are again three types. DNA error theory proposed by Ronald Hart and Richard then error catastrophe proposed by Argel. Then missing factor theory proposed by MS KANENGO Kanungo. Shall we see first this? Intracellular and extracellular. Why they have considered the cell the unit of life, that is cell only. Definitely our body includes number of cells, we are multicellular organisms, but definitely cell is a unit of life even in human body also. Yeah. In any organism, a single cell itself decides the total life of the body. Whatever the changes in cell, either internal or external, leads to some changes in the body. That cause definitely both aging and senescence. Not only these two, even the cellular changes are reason for the death also. Yeah. Anyhow, the intracellular, okay, first genetic blueprint theory. Genetic blueprint theory. Genetic blueprint theory was proposed by Heflick. See, very simple. First he selected some tissues. So some frog tissue, rat tissue, elephant tissue, human tissue, rabbit tissue, some tissues. Then after collecting some tissues, he developed the tissue in tissue culture. What is the tissue culture? They collect some, after collecting some trace, after filling from some nutrients, carbohydrates, proteins, sugars, something, all vitamins, minerals, everything. Then they put this tissue in that nutrient media. Then automatically the cell divides and produce one cell will become 2, 2 will become 4, 4, 8, something. It promotes cell division. After separation of the body also, definitely tissue will grow. Such experiments are known as tissue cultural experiments. That means this theory is based on tissue culture experiments first. So this person collected some tissues from different species, then conducted tissue cultural experiments. That's over. In his experiment, he came to conclude that the number of cell divisions are based on the lifespan of that species. That means if the species lifespan is less, number of cell divisions are less. If the species lifespan is more, the number of divisions also more. End the matter, that's it. Very simple experiment. On the basis of that, he came to conclude that definitely each and every cell has nucleus. In nucleus chromosomes are there. That means genetic material is there. That genetic material has some blueprint, some information which decides number of cell divisions. So after some time the cell loses divisibility, then automatically the cell will become dead. Due to gradually increasing of dead cells, hair cell, hair follicle cell, if that is unable to get division, then automatically hair growth stops. That leads to hair fall. At the same time, if your heart cells are unable to divide, that leads to increasing of the dead cells in the heart. Accumulation of dead cells leads to heart problem. Accumulation of dead cells in kidney leads to kidney problem. Bone cell leads to bone problem. That means each and every cell has its own, is it, dividing ability that depends on the genetic material of the cell. So definitely not only this, it depends upon lifespan, it also, the cells are different organs, no? So each and every cell has its own blueprint that decides the senescence and finally the death also. That is the theory proposed by Flix. Very simple, nothing. Is it? Just 2 or 3 lines. What are that? This theory is based on tissue cultural experiment. In his experiment, he came to conclude that number of cell divisions are based on its lifespan. Lifespan and cell divisions are inversely proportional, directly proportional. Directly proportional. If lifespan is less, number of divisions are less. If that is more, that is more. That means lifespan and number of cell divisions are directly proportional. At the same time, different tissue has different cell divisional processes, ability of cell divisions, that decides both senescence and the death. So hair fall, skin elasticity loss, that loss, this loss, bone marrow fail to produce the hemoglobin loss, something like that. Clear? Genetic blueprint theory. Yeah. So genetic blueprint theory was proposed by Flix. This theory is based on, or it is based on tissue culture experiments. After conducting tissue cultural experiments, Flix realized that, or came to conclude that, number of cell divisions are directly proportional to the lifespan of species. He also concluded that each cell has its own ability of division based on the genetic information present in the nucleus. Known as genetic blueprint. Failure of cell division. Failure of cell division. Accumulation of dead cells. Leads to senescence and death. This is accumulation of dead cells initially leads to senescence in the beginning, finally leads to death. Senescence and death. If you want to use that terminology, also use it. That is genetic blueprint helix or helix. Then free radical theory. Packer and Smith. Free radical theory, Packer and Smith. Of course, it is also based on tissue culture experiment only. First, they conducted tissue cultural experiments. Definitely, they too realized that the number of cell divisions are based on the lifespan of the species. Then, after the end of cell divisions, they applied some antioxidants to the tissue culture. Then they added antioxidants to the tissue culture. Then again cell division. It started. So on the basis of that, these two, Packer and Smith, realized that, see, definitely in our body, and each of our cell, oxidative and reductive to metabolic activities will undergo. In oxidative metabolic activities, oxidative enzymes will involve. These oxidative enzymes release superoxides. Otherwise, they are also known as superoxide radicals. These superoxide radicals react with water and finally convert into H2O2, hydroperoxyl radical. This HO2 again reacts with unsaturated fats and finally converts these unsaturated fats into lipofuscin, a substance known as aging pigment. Is a thick, fatty, gel-like substance. When this lipofuscin accumulates in the cell, this is a cell nucleus, different cells. In the cell, when this lipofuscin is going to accumulate gradually, automatically cell lose its permeability. Then the cell can't absorb essential nutrients. At the same time, it can't eliminate undesirable substances, waste material. That means when this lipofuscin is less, cellular function declines. When this lipofuscin increase, then automatically cell lose its functionality also. Then automatically the cell lose complete permeability, end. That leads to death of the cell. So, death of the cell and accumulation of dead cells initially leads to senescence and finally leads to death. This is free radical theory proposed by Packer and Smith. Is it? That means here it's enough. What is this theory? According to this theory, first each and every cell is it have some oxidative enzymes. This oxidative enzymes produce superoxide radicals. This superoxide radicals reacts with water and converts into hydroperoxyl radical HO2. This again, after reacting with unsaturated fats, convert into lipofuscin known as aging pigment. Accumulation of this pigment leads to loss of permeability of the cell. So initially that leads to senescence and finally the death. This is free radical theory. Draw like this only and write the same thing. In examination also we can write like this, is it? Yeah. This itself is known as flow chart. Happily you can use, need not write again and again. Write as it is an exam also. So first oxidative enzymes produce superoxide radicals. Just an arrow here, produce superoxide radicals. This is first sentence, that one. Next, the superoxide radicals reacts with water and finally produce HO2, hydroperoxyl radical. Then this HO2, after reacting with unsaturated fats, produce lipofuscin. Then again continue. What is this lipofuscin? Aging pigment. Lipofuscin is known as aging pigment. Next arrow. Accumulation of lipofuscin in cell. Accumulation of lipofuscin in cell Next arrow, that means leads to loss of permeability of the cell. Then next arrow, loss of permeability of the cell leads to death of the cell. Again that leads to accumulation of dead cells. Again that leads to initially senescence and finally death. I hope it's clear. These are all science, also not a absolute fact, but it's relative. Recently it is proved that antioxidants, so definitely never delay aging. Even antioxidants promote aging. Up to now, doctors and scientists are believing that antioxidants delay aging by neutralizing free radicals. Is it? Yeah. This is the fact up to now. But recently it proved that antioxidant can't neutralize free radicals. Again, this antioxidant promote the production of free radicals. Exactly opposite. Which one should believe? We can't say sometimes. One person speaks, vegetarian diet is the best. Other person speak, no, non-vegetarian is the best. Both have logic. 100% in plant, some specific amino acids are absent. They can't produce. The specific amino acids present only in the animal. Animal only has capacity to produce that. Means to get the specific amino acids, non-vegetarianism is compulsory, inevitable. Then which one? Which one is the best one? You can't say anything. So something, this debate goes on. Science also something is a debate. Not only debate, sometimes science is a cheating. I am a 100% science graduate, but I am frankly saying 100% science is cheating. This Western country people always try to utilize the science to increase their market, business. If they have any some technology, then they promote that. If other country has same technology, they discourage that. No, that is wrong. This is right. Why? They have that technology. So the big war is going on in the name of technology. They want to utilize technology in welfare of their own country. Yeah. What is truth? What is untruth? We can't say anything. Yeah. Ozone depletion. Is it? A big hole in the ozone layer above Antarctica. Is it? Who proposed this concept? America, NASA scientists proposed that. Yeah. Some other country people are saying that, particularly China and other, ozone is a gaseous mask. It's a gas. It is not a solid to make hole in it. How in gas? Polarized. Okay, hole appeared. Automatically, whenever some vacuum created, the surrounding air, it rushes and covers. Then how far it is reliable? That means, is it really American view is correct? We can't say anything. Why they propose that concept? See, worldwide we are using some chlorofluorocarbons in the coolant, in the cooling, refrigerators and all, cool. Is it? Yeah. As a coolant we are using chlorofluorocarbons, prions. Yeah. So America invented some new technology in place of that. Then they want to promote their business. Then they started to blame your technology. Chlorofluorocarbon you people are using. That's why ozone depletion. Stop that. Use our product. Use our product. It never causes any harm. What is this drama? But we are studying ozone depletion, chlorofluorocarbons, prions, UNO protocol. So identify 9 specific gases which destroy the ozone layer. Study no totally. Is it drama or real? God also don't know. But we are studying, we are writing an examination, we are discussing, yes, true. But some other countries are totally rejecting by our don't say stories. We are not here to listen. Go and sell. Many countries are there ready to listen your story. Worldwide, we are following America. What American, what European speak, blindly we believe it. Yes, true. Reason is our trade relations very high with the USA and even European countries. If we reject, a lot of problem will arise. So inevitably you have to accept it. That demanding, no, by this is true. How can you deny the science? Yes, by, true, by. हम भी भजन करना पड़ता. But China is completely opposite to America. Questionless, they never accept such a nonsense. Don't say stories. We to know. We are also ready to say our story. Listen, I am also going to say some story. Science only means what is the fact? 90% whatever the food material, if that is in European, if that is an American, that's extraordinary one. If that is other than European and American, that's the worst one. American oils, groundnut, that cholesterol, bad cholesterol. हमारा ऑलिव ऑयल यूज करो, no bad cholesterol. What is bad cholesterol? What is good cholesterol? Who decided this? Europeans decided that. After research, yes, our oils have this form, D form, these oils have L form, something difference they identified. On that base, they started to start karo. By your oil had this one, our oil had this one, this is the best one, this is the wrong one. भैया हमारा भारत इंडिया में almost ancient time too, we people are using these oils only. We are not getting any. You people also using that oil, but you too getting number of diseases. What is the reality? See the science. This is science. And how to believe the science? Where is believability in it? Complete violation. But in science, fact is there. But due to this selfish, they are totally violating the science and technology also. Science and technology became a tool or a vehicle to enhance their trade. This is the fate. We can't do anything. These are the facts. But you can't write in examination. But definitely you can speak in interview. If we write such a things, even other person also should have that much knowledge, no? This is the problem. That too, we are blind followers of Europe and West. We are the West followers. West favorites we are. Yeah, this Western, what is this attachment, phobia is going on. It's sinking into the blood and cell and nerve and everything. Whatever the foreign people speak, yes. Whatever Indians speak, इनको क्या मालूम है भाई? What he knows? American, ये सच है, ये झूठ है. We have no self-respect first of all in India. This is the biggest thing. We always believe other, not the self. If any something in history, after something, we know in our ancient times itself, Indian invented numbers, decimal system. So even astronomy well developed. No. We are not ready to hear. Copernicus told. Yes. Who is this Copernicus? When this Copernicus came into? Is it not? Like that, we the people. We can't do anything. Western influence is completely sinked into the blood. Almost 1600 to 1947, we are under British rule. Yeah. British ideology is sinked into each and every cell. We are unable to come out. Even today also our ideology, totally thought process, thinking nature is directed by the British. Aisa socho, aisa mat socho. This is wrong, this is right. Such a influence, we can't do anything. Okay, whatever, free radical theory, of course, in examination. But recently, in the news, if you read in recently, the Hindu also completely rejected the concept of free radicals. Yes. If any person reject that, immediately remaining, keep silent. No. Ye silent karo, isko rise karo. Media, books, everything in the hands of some people. What they speak, their media propagate that. If other person speak, stop karo isko fast. Don't propagate that. This is going on. That means almost facts are denied. False informations are promoted in the name of science. Then tell me, is it the science? Of course, you should respect the science, but these are controversies. People doing dramas with the science also, but science is science only. Yes. So definitely rational approach is it? That's there in the science. We must accept the science, but this is something deviation from the science. Yeah. Anyhow, come to here. There are theories. Yes, communistic and non-communistic countries. China and is it China, North Korea? What is that? Another one? Cuba. These are all one group. Remaining democratic countries are there, no? Non-communistic. These are one group. These are all propagating pseudoscience. Pseudoscience, false science. Error theories. Okay, DNA error. See, definitely, we studied already mutation. Mutations are quite natural in the environment. What are the reasons for mutations? UV rays, X-rays, alpha, beta, gamma, all the traces are present in sun rays itself. Even in cosmic rays. That means definitely nature not only provides proper environmental conditions for the survival, it also creates some hazardous environmental factors which creates even sometimes a destruction also. Yeah. That means nature is ultimate. Producer and destroyer both is the nature. Whatever it may be, DNA errors, mutations are inevitable in the nature. If errors are increasing, how species survive successfully? Is it? It's not possible. So, to neutralize the mutations, DNA errors in our body, DNA repairing mechanism also there. See, something virus in software, that virus also a program. Is it? Definitely in our software, antivirus program also inbuilt. Even then, the software get virus. Understand what I'm saying? Similarly, definitely errors arise in the nature. DNA errors are quite natural mutations. At the same time, each and every species, each and every individual, they contain DNA repairing mechanism also. That DNA repairing mechanism, if that is strong, then automatically it neutralizes the mutant genes. Then automatically that increase lifespan. Otherwise, this mutant genes produced different undesirable substances. Due to increasing of this mutations and production of undesirable substances leads to number of changes in the body. That itself is known as senescence. That finally leads to death. According to this theory, Ronald, Hart and Richard. That means definitely for all senescence, functional declining, mutations and rate of mutations are responsible. Is it? At the same time, each and individual aging and senescence are different. Why they are different? That means individual have repairing mechanism. If that repairing mechanism is strong, then senescence is delayed. If that repairing mechanism is less, then automatically senescence arises early. This is the concept given by Ronald Hart and Richard. Clear, I think. DNA error theory proposed by Richard Hart and Ronald Hart and Richard. According to this theory, mutations and rate of mutations are the major reasons for both senescence and death. Increasing of mutations leads to failure of many metabolic activities. Failure of many metabolic activities. Result is senescence. In long run, it leads to death. At the same time, individuals have DNA repairing mechanism. If DNA repairing mechanism is strong, then senescence is delayed. I hope it's enough. You can, if you want other sentence also, vice versa also, is it? That means why individuals have different senescence? Why this differences in the senescence? The differences in senescence is based on the strength of DNA repairing mechanism. Is it? Yeah. So, the reason for the senescence, that is DNA errors. Then error catastrophe or gel. Almost the same theory. These are all error theories only, no? These are all same to same. That to DNA errors only. But he used error catastrophe. See, according to the DNA error, mutations and rate of mutations are the reason. But according to this person, Argel, see, one error leads to other error. Such a continuous errors are known as one after the other. Catastrophic errors. Catastrophe, natural calamities are catastrophic. Is it we use some term? Why we use that term? One leads to another, other leads to other. First rain start, that rain will become heavy. Then erosion, flooding, then floods, huge destruction, one after. That's why they are catastrophic in nature. But rain only the reason for the floods also. But rains are very essential. Similarly, if one after other happens continuously, then that is known as catastrophic. That may be desirable phenomena or undesirable phenomena, whatever. Both leads to damaging finally. So minimum, that means optimum, balance there must be. We need rains, but not heavy rains. Yeah. We need winds, but not the cyclones. Anything imbalance leads to destruction only. Anyhow, according to this person, see, one gene changed due to mutation. That produce a wrong substance. That wrong substance involved in some metabolic activity, then automatically the change, the total metabolic pathway. Again, that metabolic pathway produce again another substance that involved in some another, that decide that one, that produce something, that involved in another, something. That means one error leads to another error. The continuous and consequent errors are known as catastrophic errors. Such a catastrophic errors are reason for senescence and finally death. Very simple, nothing. These are all DNA errors only. But first one is simple DNA error. This is catastrophic error. Right, that one only. Error catastrophe theory proposed by Argel. According to this theory, one error leads to another error. Continuous, one error leads to another error. Continuous arising of errors, one after the other, is known as catastrophic errors. Such a catastrophic errors initially leads to senescence, in long run leads to death. So continuous, consequent arising of one after other errors. End the matter. Then missing factor theory, MS Kanungo. Missing factor theory, MS Kanungo. Who is father of Indian agricultural revolution? MS Swaminathan. See, he to MS. Swaminathan, brother, son or something. They have relationship. This MS family is a very popular family in India. This MS Kanungo is a famous gerontologist in India. A famous gerontologist. According to this person, simple one line. While increasing age, genes fail to produce substances. That means while increasing age, gene, it failed to release a particular substance, produce a particular substance. Due to failure of genes, some factors are going to miss in the body. To produce insulin, specific amino acids are desirable. If one gene, any gene, is failed to produce a specific amino acid, then that leads to complete failure to produce the insulin. Need not to any error, error leads to another error, not necessary that much. Simple. The failure of gene to produce a factor leads to missing of factors in the body. That leads to senescence, initially, death finally. Loss of hemoglobin. Hemoglobin, some substances are missing. Diabetes. Insulin producing some factors are missing. Hemophilia. So, hemophilia also due to lack of some factors, no? Yeah. To produce blood clotting substance. Thrombin, fibrin. Is it? Of course, first initially they produce prothrombin and fibrinogen. These two are inactive substances. After that, both will become active. Yeah. In the blood clotting, thrombokinase and enzyme. Is it? The thrombokinase enzyme in presence of calcium converts prothrombin to thrombin. That thrombin again converts fibrinogen to fibrin. That fibrin is a fiber-like, thread-like. Is it? That is useful to clot the blood. A nut-like. Automatically it leads to clotting. If some substance, disappearance of some substance, deficiency of some substance, no thrombokinase, no fibrinogen, no thrombin, then total failure of blood clot. Listen, deficiency of factor 8 leads to hemophilia A. Study no? Yeah. Deficiency of factor 9 leads to hemophilia B. Is it? Deficiency of some vitamin leads to some dash disease. You study many vitamin deficiencies, vitamin diseases. Yeah. That means our body sometimes fail to produce a particular substance that leads to failure of that particular activity. That leads to senescence, initially, long run death. See, is it not the permutations and combinations scholars are using? One person speaks something, other person speaks something, other person speaks something. Just like Harappa, what are the reasons for the collapse, fallout of Harappa? What are the reasons? First, one person, Wheeler, he proposed or an invasion theory. Oh, that became very virulent and famous. And gradually fade out. Now, different scholars are proposing different theories. What are that? Change in the direction of the river, Indus River, sinking of the soil, loss of fertility, increasing of salinity, extension of Thar desert, and even extinction of Kutch sands, run of Kutch, failure of monsoons, is it? Decreasing of rainfall, fall of celestial bodies. Like that, different scholars, different concept they proposed. See, if they have climatical knowledge, such a scholar think about climatology point of view. So the climatologists proposed failure of monsoons is the reason. Geographists, after conducting research, they realized that soil fertility loss, extension of Thar desert, then metallurgical persons who have knowledge in the metallurgy, metal, after conducting research, they realized that in Harappa region, tin is very scarce, not there. So even Harappan people not used heavy bronze tools. Only a few bronze. When you compare with Egypt and Mesopotamia, they use maximum bronze tools, but here is very less. Majority tools are copper. Reason is lack of tin. Again, Harappan bronze tools are very poor. Tin percentage is negligible. These are all facts. When this copper scarcity arise, tin scarcity arise, so they started to invent different metals. Is it? Then they migrated to different areas. Finally, when they invented iron in Bihar, these people migrated to. This is the metallurgical people version. How to understand the history? Permutations and combinations. Studied history, no? Yeah. These are all permutations and combinations. Sometimes after reading, we will get a lot of what these people are speaking. Different persons, different attitudes. Their knowledge, they are applying and getting some solution. This is definitely more believable one, the final version, this one. Not the Thar desert extension, not that. This is the latest theory based on metallurgical knowledge. Yes. 100% to clean the forest, to extend the agricultural lands, technology is more desirable first of all. When copper deposits become less scarce, even tin became scarce, then these people became helpless. The technology became very poor. That's why throughout the world, if you observe, after Neolithic, Chalcolithic phase, then Bronze phase. But whereas in India, after Neolithic, Bronze came, then after Chalcolithic came. Why this reverse? Scarcity of the metals. That means in India, from the beginning metallurgical knowledge is there. That's why before using copper itself, they started to use the bronze. Of course, first also they use the copper. Immediately they invented the tin and mixed that and bronze. After collapse of tin complete, when tin scarcity became very huge, then again they came back to use only the copper. That's why the culture became reverse in India. No, we are not discussing that here. That means scholars use permutations and combinations. According to one person, DNA errors are the reason. According to another person, no, one error leads to another, a consequent to errors. According to this person, simple failure of the zero. That's it. Read that one only. Missing factor theory proposed by M.S. Kanungo, a famous gerontologist of India. According to him, while increasing age, some genes fail to produce some substances. This leads to missing of many factors. This is the reason for both senescence and death. Then extracellular theories. Collagen theory immunological theories, again here thymus as a pacemaker theory, auto immune theory, then brain as a pacemaker theory. Okay, collagen theory. See, very simple. While increasing is, so what is this collagen first? Extracellular, no. So we have number of cells in the body. Each and every organ is made by a group of cells. Yeah. So in between, to provide some proper support to the cell, some fiber-like protein threads are present. Such a fibrous proteins are known as collagen. That means, what is a collagen? Collagen is a fibrous extracellular protein which provide some sort of mechanical support to the cell. While increasing is, this collagen percentage increase. At the same time, in children, this collagen elastic nature is very high. When this fibrous protein is elastic in nature, cell can enlarge, cell can absorb anything, cell can release anything. Yeah. That enters into, again, bloodstream is going to clean. While increasing is, when this collagen increase and this collagen loses elastic nature, then automatically cell lose its permeability. When cell lose its permeability, it can't absorb essential nutrients. At the same time, it can't eliminate unwanted substances. Is it? Then automatically that leads to death of the cell. Accumulation of dead cells gradually leads to senescence. Finally, failure of the organs and death. This is collagen theory. Write it. Collagen theory. What is this collagen? Collagen is an extracellular fibrous protein extracellular means in between the cells only, out of the cell only. Yeah. In children, this collagen percentage is less, and its elastic nature is very high. While increasing is collagen percentage increase, at the same time it loses its elastic nature. Result is failure of cell permeability, cell death, senescence, and finally death. That's it, no, one after other. Consequently, is it? It goes on. Then, immunological theories. Immunological theories. Again, these immunological theories are two types. Thymus as a pacemaker one, then second one autoimmune. So first one, thymus as a pacemaker. See, very simple. Thymus gland is present in only children. Of course, thymus gland present above the heart in the thorax. In children, this thymus gland is very small. While increasing age up to puberty, it enlarges, it expands, then after again it decreases and finally disappears. Thymus gradually atrophy, decaying and disappearing while increasing age. What is this thymus? It produces T lymphocytes, which are useful to build the immunity, which are useful to identify the bacteria and virus antigens which enter into the body. On the basis of T lymphocytes only, B lymphocytes produce antibodies and finally protect the body. This is the system. Whatever, first this thymus gland, is it? In newborn children, neonatal, this is very small, up to puberty, it gradually increases, then after gradually declines and finally disappears. So automatically T lymphocyte number decrease in the body, then automatically that leads to declining of immunity and increasing of susceptibility to the disease and finally increasing senescence and last step, that is death. This is one theory. Thymus as a pacemaker. Write it. Thymus as a pacemaker. Yeah. Thymus, an endocrine gland, is an endocrine gland, not exocrine originally. Thymus, an endocrine gland present above the heart in the thorax. Yeah. After puberty, this thymus gland gradually disappears. This leads to declining of T lymphocytes, loss of immunity, and finally, increasing of susceptibility to diseases. Yeah. Result is senescence and finally death. Then autoimmune theory. Autoimmune theory. Very simple. See, here also mutations arise. This anti-gen or antibody, particularly antibodies, these antibodies are produced by some specific genes. Is it? Yeah. So whenever this antibody producing genes are mutated, that leads to producing of wrong antibodies, mutant antibodies. These mutant antibodies, they fail to separate self antigens and foreign antigens. Then automatically these antibodies attack self antigens. That leads to destruction of organs. Reason is antigens are present on each and every organ, on each and every cell. You know that one? Yes, HLA we discussed, ABO we discussed, RH we discussed. What are all that? Antigen systems. If this antibodies destroy that, result is senescence initially, death finally. Read that one only. Autoimmune theory. Yeah. Yeah. Sure. According to this theory, mutations in antibody producing genes is a reason for senescence and death. Mutant genes produce mutant antibodies. These antibodies unable to differentiate self and non-self antigens. Self and non-self antigens. Yeah. Finally, they destroy self antigen systems. Result is senescence and finally death. Yeah. That is autoimmune theory. Brain as a pacemaker theory. Brain as a pacemaker theory. Dopamine. See, this dopamine, also a protein present in the brain, is a precursor of all pituitary hormones. Pituitary produce number of hormones, no? What are the hormones? Huh? Antidiuretic hormone, what is the name? Vasopressin. Yeah. So, anyhow, pituitary produce vasopressin, prolactin, growth hormone, somatotropin, somatostatin, what other? FSH, LH, ICSH, thyroid stimulating hormone TSH, ACTH, adrenocorticotropic hormone. Is it? Many it produce. By producing hormones, it control all the organs. That's why that is known as master gland. Is it? Yeah. So, this is a precursor for all that hormones. While increasing age, this dopamine quantity decline in the brain. Finish. That means brain is unable to produce this precursor first. Then the precursor is going to convert into different hormones. If this is decline, everything is going to decline. Then automatically pituitary control lost. Loss of control of pituitary leads to irregular functioning of all the glands. So muscles are not under control of, bones are not under control, eyes are not under control, nothing is under control. Then automatically that itself is a senescence. Final result is death. That means declining of dopamine, the precursor of all pituitary hormones, is a major reason for aging and senescence. Due to declining, all hormones, pituitary hormones decline, and finally pituitary loses its controlling mechanism. Result is senescence and finally death. Write yourself. Okay, tomorrow. Why, sir? How is your health first? Let me